If you have been struggling to get sales from your design work or understanding what you really need to do to make money, I have the workshop for you. On September 23rd, I'm hosting my first ever Profitable Designer Workshop. This 1-day, 3-hour workshop is only $97, but I have a discount for all my podcast listeners. Go to carinagardnercourses.com/profit and put in the code podcast for $50 off. I can't wait to see you more profitable. Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life. Early in my design business, like we're talking the first year of my design business, I found that I started doing time studies on what I was doing, and I found that I was spending an awful lot of time working on previews. Now, for those of you who don't know, a preview is simply a marketing tool, some kind of visual layout that is being used as the icon to sell a product. Okay, that's all it is. And I was spending a lot of time on these previews. And looking back now, I can honestly say that some or a good portion of how I was so successful is because I spent just as much time on my previews, that digital preview, as I did on the actual product. So today I just want to talk to you a little bit about your digital preview. Now, this is something we talk about in Paper Design Masterclass, which is part of my Design Suite program. And I'm just going to give you a little tidbit today. I know I have a lot of Design Suite members who listen to this, and my goal is always to motivate them, make sure that they're on task, and that we are making money. So this is for you, you guys. Like, listen to this carefully, because I know that I have told you to spend all of your time designing, okay? We really focus in on spending our time designing because we know marketing can be done by someone else and we can get the right distribution in place. And if you want to learn more about that, go to a design boot camp. Okay, so here's the thing about your digital preview. It has to be neutral, okay? Your logo can be a different fun color. Everything else can be a fun color. Your product itself needs to be a fun color, but your digital preview needs to be as neutral as possible. So for me, neutral colors are black, white, gray, taupe, tans, khakis. Sometimes some blues can act as a neutral color. So why do I say we need a neutral color? 100% is because the thing that you need to pop is the product, okay? So the product is going to usually be in the middle of this digital preview, and whether it's 3 ice cream cones or a little word quote or some elaborate dingbat, we need to make sure and be able to hone in on the actual product. It should draw your eye directly in. And you shouldn't spend all your time, your eye veering away from the main product. Now, every digital preview is different, and actually I use different digital previews depending on the website I'm on. I have one main digital preview that I use on my own site and a few other SVG sites, but on other sites I will kind of break it down and change that preview based on the audience. So that's the second thing I want to tell you is make sure and pay attention to what the shop is that you are submitting to. You don't want to look like everybody else. Now, there are some shops out there that require you to look like everyone else. I'm in a couple of shops like that, and all the previews are the same. That way it concentrates on the product. That's okay. You want to follow the rules of the shop. But there are lots of shops out there where it's just a whole bunch of designers sitting in the same shop. And you want to stand out in a good way, not a bad way, in a good way. And that's by having a very clean digital preview. Okay? And once you create a good digital preview, you're using that same preview over and over again. Hopefully this helps some of you. I know it's not a ton of detail because it's so easy. It's so simple. And it's one of those things that will elevate your product and make it so that your product sells better. Okay? So I hope that you're working on a preview Those of you in Design Suite who are listening to this, who are still working on previews, you guys know you can always submit those to a mentor meeting so I can help you along. We can critique it and make it look even better. For me, Design Suite members, we're always trying to up level to make sure that our previews, everything we're designing is just phenomenal, so that we just do awesome in the marketplace and we're getting paid to do that design work. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. If you got a lot out of this and you are interested in learning more about design, come join me in my next design bootcamp. You can go to carinagardnercourses.com/design bootcamp and find out either when I'm doing my next live. The lives are super fun, you guys, because I get to answer questions and talk to you and message you all week. And if you can't do a live, you can come to a replay. That's usually either the last or the second to last, like the last two boot camps I'll put up for you to listen to. You have a 7-day window, just like a regular boot camp, to watch everything. And it is really meant, even just that one little week, which, by the way, is really inexpensive, is meant to just give you the strategies that no one else is talking about. No one's talking about the design strategies I am, because I actually use them in my business. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.